Hello and welcome to Dream Team Coach TV. I'm Sean Burke. Joining me is Andy Taylor, Jack Townsend, and Princess Grasman. It's Graham Marshall.
I wasn't expecting. I was trying to prepare myself for it this week. Wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I know, a bit of a left turn. We've gone into the world of Disney now.
Someone's got a Disney Plus account in the lockdown.
Yes, that has been the source of my inspiration. The mystery word game is still going. So if you don't want to know what it is and you want to play along, look away now.
I can't ask Josh this week either.
Yeah, can we?
Yeah, no.
Can we just discuss what actually happened last week?
I saw a comment that said that was fine not from me, but from Jack, was saying like, yeah, if it was just if it was just you have to get it spot on, and someone could say it really quickly.
Slowly but surely, the world of football is gearing up to make a return. The Italian Prime Minister announced teams can resume training on May 18th. The Bundesliga is preparing for a potential May return, and Arsenal's training ground will be reopened for limited access, just with no proper football taking place. So business as usual then. It's got me excited thinking about the eventual return to normality. So when it returns, how will you guys spend your first proper football match day with everything back underway?
Well, I'm thinking, surely it's got to be down the pub. I mean, fingers crossed that means if we're talking about back to normality, the pubs are open in this fantasy world. And you're getting down there for the early kickoff. You're starting early. Hopefully it's a good fixture. Hopefully, I reckon the Premier League, no matter what, depending on when that first weekend comes back, they should just scrap the fixture list and make sure it's decent fixtures like on that weekend, because it'd be so annoying if it's bad fixtures.
Yeah, give us a derby. Give us a game that means something. Give us some proper. Yeah.
Find yourself a multi-screen pub as well. Because I not only do I want, the Premier League 12:45, I want to see the Bundesliga early kickoff as well, and I want to see the Championship 12:30 over on that screen as well.
I'm worried I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm worried I'm going to get overexcited and it's just going to be all too much for me. I'm concerned that I'm going to sort of dress up in like a full kit to go to the pub or something. Just make a real ass of myself.
Andy, how are you going to spend it? Multi-screen pub, yeah? Just get a centre point and just have mirrors set up everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Like we get a buzz at the first day of any season because, we've had like 2-3 months. But this buzz is going to be like no buzz we've ever felt before, I don't think. Because, we don't even know when it's going to restart. It's going to be longer than what a pre-season is. But the fact that we've just had so much time to just wait for it now. We're just sitting around waiting for football to come back.
We've been robbed of a summer of beer gardens and pints in the air with the Euros going. So this start of the season is just going to be like everyone trying to cash up for lost time.
Pints being thrown in the air.
Yeah, I mean, going and seeing your mates again and having the same old arguments that you always have every season about the start of this.
Do you know what I actually miss the most? And I can't wait for it to come back. Is just not even Wolves. It's actually like other clubs like Spurs losing games. I honestly, I can't tell you. I need that injected into my veins. I absolutely love it. When Arsenal play, I'm like, I hope you lose. Honestly, I'll just get an absolute buzz out of it. So that I am looking forward to.
Can you imagine the roar upon kickoff in the first properly public match back, like with
crazy,
crowds?
Yeah.
Football's actually. I know I don't want to go down this route, but do you think football is actually an essential part of society to the point that it's right that we're trying to get it back? Because
I think it's interesting that
so many lives are being affected by it,
I think it's interesting that some people are saying it seems quite early for them to go back, but I think we were talking about this the other day about it possibly being almost a morale boost for people because so many people watch it, so many people invest time in it. And so many people have had that time sort of taken away from them and have sort of, not had much to fill that time with. Okay, we've spent the last however many weeks doing this show, wishing football was here. It's all right for us to moan about it on the internet, but there's some people we've got no out there.
So it's a good distraction, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Borussia Mönchengladbach have given fans the chance to place a cardboard cutout of themselves in the stands for games taking place behind closed doors, the proceeds of which will go to local causes. So we've asked the panel to prepare an image of how they would like their cardboard cutouts to look if they were at a match behind closed doors. So let's take a look. Who wants to go first?
Oh, okay.
What have I?
Very
What,
nice.
I can't. Have I shared it?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
shared it.
Yes, you have.
Who's managed to take that full-length photo of you?
I can't. It's weird. I can't actually see it myself, but
It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does
So I
look
was
good.
thinking, basically, this is me when I eventually get to go and see Palace again. Obviously, after lockdown, I'm going to be a hell of a lot bigger, and my barnet is only going one
Out of
way, and that
control,
is
yeah.
up.
Wow.
Tell me if you can see these. There it is. There it is. So this is for if it's all going absolutely wrong.
Oh, very nice.
This
Just that one then, yeah?
This one, I've got different situations. So this one, if it will change, that's for when Serge Aurier gives the ball away up the field, runs back, gets a yellow card, leads to a goal. Sounds quite specific, but it happens quite a lot. This is
I like that one.
This is for when I'm not sure about like a substitution or something.
Oh, that looks like someone's just let rip next
Or,
year.
yeah, or if someone around me says, yeah, exactly. It's you know, it's relevant. Or maybe I've seen a dodgy goal and I think it's going to VAR. This is when Arsenal play. So that's that. I did try and do this. I tried to make it look more cardboard by making it slanted, but I'll show you the next one. It doesn't really work. I don't. It didn't.
That looks
try
really
it.
good.
I'm not
That's
sure
quality.
it really
does. Yeah. I
Can
mean,
we
your
all
arm
get-
is massive, though.
Yeah, because the
Looks like-
perspective goes a bit wrong.
You've been
No,
wanking
that's
up
just.
a
Yeah, I was
storm,
gonna
Graz.
say that's just lockdown, mate.
So yeah, there we go.
Andy, what have you made?
Oh, mine's just short and sweet, I'll be honest. Nothing, honestly, just a little self-portrait of myself. So yeah, it was just sitting on my camera roll, just a photo I took the other day. And, there it is.
Love the turtleneck, man.
That is a
That
is a
Wolves
fine
edition
photo.
grey turtleneck, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Look,
That's a long
recycled
neck.
cardboard as well.
that's good.
Yeah,
That's really
nice.
good.
I've got one as well here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let me know if you can see this.
Should we just specify that actually isn't Andy to the people that don't
What?
know who that is?
What?
So what?
What? What? Are you sure?
It looks a lot like him.
Because
Because this is Sean, obviously.
this is definitely
That's
me anyway.
you.
There's
Yeah.
me in the stands.
Yeah.
Spouting
No,
puns.
this is not right because it's you actually at the ground.
And wearing an Arsenal shirt
Yeah.
that wasn't bought by like Hennes for work about 5 years ago.
All right. I guess it's time for the quiz.
I guess it must be.
Are you guys ready? It is quizness time. Seeing as there's no results to talk about again, let's test our football knowledge. We're going to have 3 rounds of questions, and you can play along at home too, as long as you promise not to cheat. Diego Maradona has left the chat. First round is topical, and as this week marked the 6th anniversary of Steven Gerrard's infamous slip against Chelsea, let's talk about some more famous slips. Okay, are you ready for question 1?
Okay.
Ooh.
John Terry slipped whilst taking his penalty against Man United in the Champions League final in 2008. But whose penalty did Van der Sar save to actually win the shootout? Was it Nicolas Anelka,
Oh, option.
Michael Ballack, or Frank Lampard? All right, you ready for question 2? David Beckham slipped while taking a penalty for England against Turkey in a 2003 Euros qualifier.
Oh, crikey.
But which England player won the penalty?
Oh.
You've got Emile Heskey, Steven Gerrard, or Wayne Rooney.
Oh, and it's none of the people that I thought it was, so so I definitely needed those options.
Question 3. The aforementioned Demba Ba goal was a huge mistake on Gerrard's part, but who did Ba slip the ball past in the Liverpool goal?
Ooh.
Question 4. There's an infamous photo of Paul Scholes' fucking slipping out during a match.
There is.
Certainly no stranger to a bad tackle. He has 4 red cards in the Premier League, but how many yellows?
Oh.
I have options here as well.
Okay, great.
Okay, I think it would probably be unfair. Is it 95, 97, or 99?
Do any of you boys know what a whirligig is? Because mine is going absolutely mental outside. It's like one of those washing lines. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Hang on,
no, it's not gone around enough.
What, in the wind?
Yeah.
He's catching it.
All right, question 5. During his tenure as Man United manager, in a sarcastic appeal to the fourth official, Louis van Gaal pretended to slip on the sidelines during a match. Who was that match against?
Because
But that photo, generally, you can actually see the other manager as well. All right, okay. Here are the answers for round 1. All right, question 1, Champions League final. Whose penalty did Van der Sar save? It was Anelka.
Ah!
So, all right, question 2. David Beckham slipped while taking a penalty for England against Turkey in 2003. Who won the penalty? It was Steven Gerrard. Question 3. The aforementioned Demba goal was a huge mistake on Gerrard's part, but who did Bas slip the ball past? It was Simon Mignolet.
Oh, no.
All right, question 4. How many Premier League red cards does Paul Scholes have? 97. And the last question. Who were Man United playing against when Louis van Gaal pretended to fall over? It was Arsenal.
Oh.
Was it Wenger?
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake. I thought that was too obvious. That was the first one.
Yeah, buddy.
How many did you get, Jack?
3.
That's 3 across the board, lads.
Oh, 3 across the board.
Yeah, all to play for. All right. Okay, now on to the player round. A player who provided many spectacular Premier League moments popped up in my feed this week. Yaya Toure. So, let's have a refresher course, shall we? All right. Question 1. True or false? He has more than 100 caps for Ivory Coast. Question 2. True or false? He has a higher goal rate than Gareth Bale in the Premier League.
Good question, Shawnee boy.
That is a good question.
Thank you.
I
Okay, question 3. True or false? He never received a red card in the Premier League.
got a gut feeling there.
Straight red or any red?
Just any red.
Any red.
I
don't know.
Question 4. How many times was he African Footballer of the Year?
Ooh.
The options are 3, 4, or 5.
Oh, it's not 0 then.
Were you thinking of 0?
Yeah.
That would be a good trick question. All right. And question 5. Who received a bigger fine for drink driving? Yaya Toure or Wayne Rooney?
Oh. Right, sent those answers. I don't know whether I don't know.
Send them through. Okay, so the answers are question 1. He has more than 100 caps for Ivory Coast. That is true. He has 101.
Yes.
So
it's close.
Only just.
I just had him down as a bit of a player who wouldn't travel a lot of the time to Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Okay, and question 2. He has a higher goal rate than Gareth Bale in the Premier League. That's false.
Oh.
Only just. It's 0.27 goals per game to 0.29.
Wow.
Yes.
I've blown it. I've absolutely blown it.
Oh no.
I've got 4 in a row wrong.
There's a lot of games
let's
to go.
see how you fare in the last 3. True or false? He never received a red card in the Premier League. That is true. Oh, Andy, I see you put down false here for that.
Oh no. I thought he must have had a red.
No.
I almost remember him definitely getting a red as well.
No, I can picture it.
Must have been Champions League or something.
Yeah, probably. And just all my information, or a lot of it, is coming from the official Premier League website. So if it is
So
false,
you're passing the
take
buck,
it up
yeah?
with them.
Yeah.
This is me passing the buck. I'm passing the Burke over to someone else. Question 4. How many times was he African Footballer of the Year? 4.
No, my clean sweep's gone.
Once again, Sean, putting the number of the question as the answer. So that was question number 4, and it was 4.
All right. Who received a bigger fine for drink driving? Yaya Toure. Wayne Rooney didn't actually get a fine, just a ban.
Gosh.
Yeah. And Yaya Toure's fine at the time was a record in the UK for the biggest drink driving fine, £54,000.
Jesus.
Wow. I've got a something to admit there. I didn't hear you properly at the front, at the beginning of that, and I answered all those questions thinking we were talking about his brother, Colo.
No,
No, you didn't.
And I still got 4.
What, you thought there was a question about goal ratios between Toure and Bale, and that's why you got it right, because it was a centre.
Yeah, but it was, exactly, it was false. So,
oh my God.
and it worked.
If he wins this,
you would be
it's
false in that case, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Wow, I need to retire there.
Okay, last but not least, I have recreated a famous goal in my gaff, specifically my bedroom again, using just what is available to me at home. But can you name that goal?
Okay. Oh, I think I know. Okay. I suddenly, okay. I think I suddenly got it.
Good. Yeah.
It took me quite a long time to work out what was going on in the first bit.
No, admittedly, I did pad out the scenario with some stuff that didn't actually happen on the day.
Right.
But I think it just adds to it, you know? Yes, I've gotten your answers, and I can confirm it was Rooney's overhead bicycle kick against Man City, assisted by Nani. Oh, there you go. Very good. That's
Quality,
points
that.
across the board for you all there, lads.
Oh,
Well done. After that, in third place with 5 points is Andy Taylor.
ooh, it's a bit of a fall from grace.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't mind
So
losing to someone
confident.
who's actually playing a different quiz to me. I don't mind that.
All right. And in joint first place with 8
Oh.
points is Graham Marshall and Jack Townsend.
Oh, well done, lads. I didn't want to win anyway.
It's a draw.
Surely a little tiebreak.
I bet you feel worse than I do now, then.
Do you know what? It's weird because we were joint last week and joint first this week, so like inseparable in quiz
We're
terms.
so inseparable. I was calling it inseparable, but is no.
Can call it.
All right, so Graz has got the word then. I don't think Jack really ever calls it when he's got it, so...
No, he does.
Can I just say
he does.
the mystery word's already been said?
Oh, what did you say?
Jack,
Is it-
you little...
Is it shinned?
It's not me.
It is you.
You sure it's not you?
Unless Andy is doing his like straight shooter thing and he's going to turn his back on that,
No.
like straight darts, it's definitely Jack and we've missed
Great
it.
darts. I mean, Jack did. I mean, I really thought you'd call that out, to be honest.
I wasn't looking at the
How
screen
did
when
you
he
say
did it.
He said, he was like, oh, has anybody else got a whirly gig?
And I thought,
Yeah,
Look
so
out the window. It's like,
I said, do you know? I said to you, do you know what a whirligig is?
you all
Yeah.
said no.
Yeah, so
You're like, tell us more, Jack.
I couldn't have been more obvious with it.
Yeah, no, fair play.
You really made a big thing of it. But
Oh,
fair
that's
play,
annoying,
Jack. Right, let's do a tiebreaker for
Oh,
the
crikey.
quiz
Okay.
winner. All right. So on Paul Scholes', according to his Premier League stats page, how many Premier League appearances does Paul Scholes have? Closest answer wins. All right. Well, the answer is 499, meaning Jack wins. His guess was 417.
Wow.
Graz, yours was
I went too
350.
low.
Hard luck.
Graz, you've lost to someone.
We didn't know the difference between
Now, that
Colo
was Paul
Toure and
Scholes'
Yaya
appearances,
Toure.
not
I
Colo
know
Toure,
the
Jack.
difference.
No,
I know
I know.
the difference.
He's just answered that for Colo Toure's appearance.
All right. Well, congratulations, Jack. Enjoy that victory for a quiz.
double win in quick succession.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, it's time to pick up where we left off with our ultimate teams. Each one of us will pick our all-time ultimate team, going from position to position in each passing week. And this week, we'll be picking our second centre half each. All right. What are you saying, guys? Graz, you can start us off.
Well, so I think last time I picked John Terry, but I think the player that got in was Van Dijk, because I think you guys both picked Van Dijk. So I mean, obviously, my vote's going to go back to John Terry to fill in that last position. But I don't want to talk about John Terry right now. I don't want to talk about the so-called best central defenders. Right? I want to talk to you about a man who was known as the Ginger Pele. A man who was so bad defensively and as an attacking player that they deployed him in both places throughout most of his career. Gary Doherty. ladies and gentlemen,
Gary
who
Doherty.
only actually I didn't believe this because he was a player that I like really grew up with in my like early times of like actually properly being aware of football, right? So like late 90s or whatever, the football was on, my dad was watching it, I didn't know who everyone was, but early 2000s when we signed him, it was Simon Davis and who else, Matthew Everington, I think. Like that was a period that I really vividly remember, and Gary Doherty constantly just sort of being shoved up front when we had absolutely nothing else going on is such a great memory for how mediocre Spurs were at that point.
Was all right, Gary Doherty in is Graz's pick, right? Jack, are you gonna go down a cult route or?
Well, seeing as I've spent a lot of the quiz thinking we were talking about him. What about Kolo Toure? I mean, he was part of an invincible. Well, he's been part of two invincible sides. Bearing in mind, one is in the Scottish Prem, but he has. Is he the only player to be part of two invincible sides?
Double invincible, he might be. Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't count though, does it?
Yeah, I know, and I even said it, but he's been part of one. I mean, I know he's sort of, but he's won a fair few things, but he did turn into a bit of a joke player. But I thought he was worth a mention.
I do think he's one of them that definitely like his latter end of his career almost makes you forget about how good it actually was.
Yeah, and he was so young in that Invincible side, and yet he was, he came in and was keeping players, like more experienced players out because he was playing so well at times.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's definitely worth a shout. I don't know if did we talk about Company last time?
No, don't think we did.
He didn't
I
get
think
mentioned, really.
surely Company's got to have a shout, considering he kind of came in at the beginning of Man City's new era and was, he would be on the team sheet every week if it wasn't for injuries. And like, he was phenomenal.
Andy.
Okay, so I'm actually going down I actually went down the route of going for a cult player and then actually just discovered that he's not even a cult player. He's actually one of the best centre-halves ever to grace our league. And that's Robert Huth.
Right,
now,
All right.
Reason being, how many league titles do you think he's got?
Now people are going to forget, I think.
3, I reckon.
His time with Chelsea,
He's got 3.
Yeah.
So straight off, I mean, he's got more Premier League titles than a lot of centre-halves that have ever been.
Can I just say another quiz question I got right?
All right, 9 points now. What do you want? Jesus.
I mean, he's got 3 more than Virgil van Dijk for starters.
For now.
He's got just 1 less than Vincent Kompany. So just purely on numbers, he's outrageous. But I think to be a cult player, you have to be part of a cult side. And he's been part of 2 really, but the Stoke Pulis side was, like one of the most iconic of our generation. I mean, like memes and phrases were coming from that side. And the amount of times he got on the end of a Rory Delap throw-in was brilliant. And obviously then moved on to Leicester and was part of one of the biggest successes arguably in sport, considering the financial restraints.
That's a cult season, let alone a cult player.
Yeah. So just to be part of all that, was part of the Mourinho Chelsea side. I think it was Mourinho's Chelsea side. And then also was a fully fledged German international and actually was part of their side that got to the 2006 playoff, like the 3rd and 4th phase playoff. So what an absolute baller, genuinely, and obviously will never get the recognition he probably deserves, considering the likes of Terry Company and stuff. But, my pick always has to be, does this lad put bums on seats? And he definitely puts my bum on a seat.
All right.
It's a weird phrase.
Let us know in the comments below, do any of these players put your bum on a seat? And that is the qualifier for quality.
So who are we deciding on?
I thought it was Gary Doherty, right, wasn't it? Yeah, I think Gary Doherty.
Look, if we're being serious, JT, but if we're being dream team coach, I'd say Robert Huth.
Vincent Kompany isn't either of those options, Andy.
No, I know he isn't, but I think he's probably right. Are we putting Robert Huth in?
Just go for it. If we're going to go more culty further up.
All right then, Robert Huth it is.
Still sounds silly though.
Robert, it does sound silly. We'll have Gary Doherty on the
triple
bench.
Premier League winner. I mean, not many people can say that.
No, I definitely can't.
Really?
No, surprisingly.
I was about to ask you, Graz, do you have
only twice. Yeah, only twice.
You have got the same amount as Virgil van Dijk, though, Graz.
Yeah.
That is all from us, folks. Thank you again for joining us on another episode of Dream Team Coach TV. Look after yourselves. Don't forget to subscribe as well, because we release a video every week. And we'll see you again next week. Take care.
Bye.
All right.